Good morning, everyone. I lost my remote. Don't know where it is. Welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about why I ran away at 16. I was the oldest of 5, and I had recently got a boyfriend. Actually, I was engaged at 16. I had an engagement ring, and I had my own car, a 66 convertible Mustang, which I paid for myself, making $1.61 an hour. I did not rely on my parents for anything. I was extremely independent. In fact, my favorite aunt even said that to me, and I didn't even understand that until now, because there's so many young people that depend on their parents for their first car, for their livelihood. I bought my own clothes. I had 2 jobs in high school. I worked for Fairfax County Fire and Rescue Services in the Massey building in the basement where the control center was. And then I also worked at night at Gino's at Fairfax Circle, which is a hamburger joint. And I think a sports figure had bought this. They served the Gino Giant, which was, I think, the forerunner of the Big Mac. It was better than the Big Mac, let me tell you. So I already had an income. I already had transportation. And I think my sisters were jealous of me. They kind of always was. I don't know why. No one should ever be jealous of anyone else. I think my mother was jealous at that time because of the freedom that I had. You know, she was, I think, pregnant with my little sister back then, because when I got married 2 years later, my little sister was my flower girl. No, she wasn't. She's the one who held my veil, because I got married on West Ox Road at that really big church. My brother had gone to Christian school there. So one evening, I don't know what happened. This had never happened before in my life, but both of my sisters, I won't name them, 2 of my sisters who were under me, my mother actually sicked them on me, and they were beating me, and I was on the ground, and I was not a fighter. I've never been a fighter, nor would I want to be a fighter. And I was laying down in our TV room on Oakton Road, and my sisters were beating me up. So I went in my bedroom, and I put on a long house coat with a zipper, and I was totally dressed underneath. I put my car keys in the pocket, and I made it seem like, okay, that's okay. Y'all can beat me up, whatever. And I walked through the TV room where this altercation had happened, and I got in my car and I left. I immediately called the Fairfax County Police and told them what happened, and they met me in Fairfax, and the police officer went into a hotel and paid, back then it was only $20, paid for me to have a room. Now, this is what was embarrassing. I'm like a clothes horse, and I had to wear the same clothes at the fire department the very next day, but nobody said anything to me, and I didn't tell anybody what had happened. But I'm forever grateful to that police officer. I never went back, nor I don't think anybody else would in their right mind. I never went back. And then my fiance hired an attorney, and I got emancipated, and I had to prove that my grades were good and that I could support myself and that I had a place to live. So I moved into Wolney Road with my mom's brother, who happens to be my favorite uncle. She has like, I think 6 or 7 brothers. And he let me live there during my high school years. And they all loved my fiance. Even to this day, they do. Well, now it's my ex-husband, but yeah. Everybody loved my fiance. So I got emancipated. Now here, my mother wants me to come back home, you know, and they even had my dad, who never talks about this kind of stuff. They kind of waylaid me on a picnic, and my dad actually got into the vehicle with me. And for the first time in his life, he was actually holding an adult conversation with me. He said, "Please come back home." And I said, no. For a mom to sick 2 of her children on another child is wrong. This is the first time I've ever talked about this. But yeah, and no one ever apologized to me. And I think my mother put everything I owned in one little box. Of course, my sisters went through it and took whatever they wanted. I mean, I left everything. When you are desperate, you will leave everything, because monetary or physical things are not important when it is your life and when it's your happiness, right? So, yeah, that's why I ran away at 16. The police were looking for me a little bit later that week. And that's another story. I've already talked about that, when I was hiding in Kemp, Washington in the weeds for hours. The police were circling the whole area, and I was laying flat, letting all the mosquitoes eat me, because I was that determined never to go back into that house. Now, after I got married and my parents paid for the wedding and everything was fine, but I never brought the subject up because it's very painful. So I hope you all never have to deal with that. All right, bye.